Trevor would like to say hi to his mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, friends.
So make sure
I'm
Tori watches this video because Trevor just said hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Woo! It's Friday.
I missed you.
Hi,
Don't forget, I didn't get to remind my video people that we have Honor Roll Chapel on Monday. So dress uniform on Monday. Don't forget.
Oh my gosh.
I am serious. I am serious.
No.
Okay, so let's go through your homework on page 266. Don't rip it out though. Don't rip your homework out yet.
Yes. We have homework.
Okay, so number 4. Number 4 should be an intersection point at -1, -2. You should have an intersection point at -1, -2.
I forgot to draw the second line.
The ordered pair, -1, -2.
Wait, isn't that one solution? That was marked.
1 to the left and 2 down.
I don't know where I did wrong.
I did that, but I put -2 over my
That's not an ordered pair at all.
Isn't? Oh, I thought that was one solution.
An ordered pair is in the parentheses, X first, Y second. That's how your answers need to be for one solution.
So would that be wrong?
I didn't put
wrong too.
intersection point.
That's supposed to be a negative slope. Here's your -5, but your slope goes up. It's supposed to be over here. And this one's going down, but it's a positive slope. You should have went down and over here. Your slopes are goofy.
Wait.
Rachel?
That's right.
No, you were supposed to have a slope of -3. It should have been up 3 over 1.
I
You
did.
only went up 2 over 1.
I wrote it down wrong, but I have the intersection point on it. So is it half?
It's a half, yes. Yeah. So if you have the right graph, but your ordered pair, you weren't sure how to write the answer, that's -1/2.
What if I didn't write the ordered pair?
Then it's -1/2. Yep.
I didn't do that.
I forgot to draw one line.
I just put if it was one solution.
Okay.
Wait,
Number.
I did it. Did I do it wrong?
The ordered pair?
No, there's a solution right there.
Oh, I got right.
But you didn't write the answer.
I didn't write any of those.
The answer is -1, -2. It's an ordered pair.
Oh. Well, that's.
Wait, you have to do that for all of them?
Okay, so maybe for today, I obviously didn't make this clear enough yesterday. For today, if you have the solution at 1 to the left and 2 down, I'm gonna give you credit for it. But in red pen, I want you to write the ordered pair -1, -2, so you don't forget again.
Wait, can you show me what I did wrong?
So this slope right here should be positive, but you went down and to the right. You needed to go down and to the left.
Why the left?
Because 9 would be up 9 to the right 1, so the reverse of that is down and to the left. You got your slopes mixed up. Okay, number 5, let's try this one. Number 5, infinitely many solutions. Number 5 is infinitely many solutions. So that one should have the words, infinitely many.
I just
Number
put
6.
the infinity sign.
Okay. Number 6 was kind of a tricky one to graph because your 2 lines went like right side by side. That's no solution.
I have a question, Shelby.
Yep.
So what if I did the graph wrong, but I had the one solution on the first one? Is that the whole thing?
You can do half.
My graphs are really sloppy, but I have all the right answers on them.
Okay. Let's go to number 7. Number 7 should be a one solution problem. They do have an intersection point. For those of you that did not write the ordered pair one solution, make sure you are able to do that. It should have been the ordered pair -4, 3. Because it's 4 to the left and 3 up, so -4, 3. So I'm not counting that part wrong today, but you do need to write ordered pairs if there's one solution. And number 8, infinitely many solutions. They are the same line.
That was the only one I got wrong.
And if you didn't get the same line, if you solve for y, they're the same exact equation.
Y
Well,
equals
they're
2.
supposed to be.
Y equals 2 minus 2/3 x.
Y equals.
-2/3 x.
Y equals
No, 2/3 x minus 2. They should have both been the same equation.
Are you taking 10 points off? Well, then I got that.
20. Last questions.
Ma'am?
So-
I should do this one with them.
I graphed the lines wrong. I still have one solution.
But it's not the right solution. It's not the right answer. The solution for one solution is the ordered pair. So it sounds like some of you may need to redo that a little bit, specifically on your graphing.
How much are they?
Well, I'm not actually gonna collect this one.
I got a 70 because it was only 5 questions.
I'm not actually gonna collect this one. Except 7 and 8 are going to be collected.
Are you kidding me?
Not yet, not yet. Tomorrow, or I mean on Monday. So your homework is gonna be on these pages. So I'm gonna collect them on Monday.
Wait, so we're allowed to redo that?
So I want you to redo specifically 7 and 8.
If we got
they're wrong.
7, or like if we got one of them wrong, we don't have to, right?
Right, yeah.
I got 80.
Okay, I'm gonna add on to that, but you get a chance to fix number 7 and number 8 if need be.
And I'll do that.
Okay?
Are we allowed to
I just
take a
forgot to
page
put the
out or no?
signs.
No, not yet. Not yet. Okay, so your notes today are not in your book, so you can set that to the side. It's actually 2 worksheets that we're gonna be working on.
But the homework's in the book, right?
The homework is gonna be back in that book, yes.
Okay, I'll just.
So don't put it too far, but put the book away. The first one we're gonna do, Miss Jenkins, is the one that says reteach at the top. So here we go.
Please tell me that I passed them. Okay. Yep.
Oh.
Thanks, man.
Okay. So at the top of that sheet in the box is a fully worked out problem. I want you to notice on the graph, you can see that there's 1 point, but the answer is the ordered pair 3, 8. Because that intersection is 3 to the right and 8 up, which is the ordered pair 3, 8. The other thing I want you to notice is they've got some checks over here for you to look at that we haven't worked on yet. So if you have the ordered pair 3, 8, if you take that first equation and put 3 in for x and 8 in for y, you check to see if that's really a solution or not. So on the right hand side, you would get 6 plus 2, which is 8. 8 equals 8. That means that ordered pair works in the first equation. In the second equation, this y equals 4x minus 4, if you plug in 3 for x and 8 for y, it looks like this. When you solve the right hand side, you get 8 equals 8. That's like proof that that ordered pair 3, 8 is a solution to both of them.
I thought each one of these were separate. I was so
Oh,
confused.
no. Those are just checks that they're showing here, just checks. Notice the check mark at the bottom? Like check, it works in both. They did state the solution a little bit differently. They said that the solution is x equals 3 and y equals 8. I would always write it as an ordered pair. I think that's easier than writing out the sentence, but if you want to write it out, you may. Okay, let's work on this problem together. The problem says a rental car company charges a one-time fee of $50 plus $1 per mile. Another rental car company charges a one-time fee of $10 plus $2 per mile. The equations at the right represent the total cost T for renting a car for M miles for each company. How many miles is the cost the same for both companies? So we have 2 equations right up here. So for the first company, the cost is going to be how many miles you go plus 50. Why is it how many miles you go? Why isn't there a number in front of how many miles you go? Trevor?
Because you don't have to write out the 1.
Because it's $1 per mile. So it's 1M and we don't need the 1. For the second equation, we get the total cost is, what's the 2M? Where's that come from?
$2 per mile.
$2 per mile. plus an initial fee of $10. We worked on that a little bit yesterday. 1, graph the lines represented by the equation. Let's start with the first one. I'm gonna graph it in blue so I can see the different colors. If you have different colored pens, now might be a good time to do that, so you can see where everything came from. Or even you have a pencil and a pen, that would work also, because those are different. They're gonna look
Shades.
different.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put my pencil first so I don't like mess it up.
And then draw over it,
Yeah.
maybe a good idea. So where am I gonna start for the first equation, for the first company? Rachel,
Start at 50 since it is your y-intercept.
okay, so even if you don't drive the car anywhere, you're gonna have to pay them $50 just for renting the car.
Wait, so, why do we need different colors again?
Just so I can see which equation it came from, that's all. You don't have to have different colors. Then what do? From 50, what do? Irene?
You go up 1 over 1.
Up 1 over 1. And in this case, it's actually up 10 over 10, but that's still a slope of 1. Up 10 over 10, up 10 over 10. Draw as many dots as it takes to get across that coordinate plane to make things accurate. Okay, do we have that done? Good. Second one, t equals 2m plus 10. Siri, where do I begin for that one? Go to the 10. And how do I graph a slope of 2? Ime. Up 2 over 1, which is up 20 over 10, which is the same thing as 2. Up 20 over 10, 20 over 10, 20 over 10. You should see that you draw a dot on top of another dot as you go along your second line. Did you find one? Did you find their intersection point?
For that one, you use your other color, right?
What do you mean?
Sure.
That's a good one. The pink
This
one.
must be like a vacation car.
Okay, I'll let y'all get finished.
Oh, it lands on the same point.
Yes, it should. And as soon as it lands on the same point, you found your intersection point. So for number 2, it says, what is the point of intersection? This is an ordered pair answer. What is the point of intersection? Christian?
40, comma 90.
40, comma 90. So there's our intersection point. I'm not doing anything with what it means yet. I'm just answering questions so far. 40, comma 90 is my intersection point. Number 3. Substitute the coordinates of the intersection point into each equation. Do the coordinates represent a solution? So do they work when you substitute them into the equation? So here's my first equation. I'm going to put 40 in for which variable?
T. Wait.
40 goes in for
Miles.
miles. That's my x-axis number. So it's going to go in for miles. And 90 goes in for the cost, which they called T for some reason.
For
Isn't that
total.
weird? Total. Oh, T for total maybe. Oh, there we go.
Oh, great.
I would have used C for cost, but. Okay, so if I add these together, the left side I get 90 equals
90.
90. Okay, it works for that company.
Are we doing the first one, the T equals M plus 50?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's written here. Second one is my second equation, so T equals 2m plus 10. I'm going to substitute my same numbers in for the same variables, 40 and 90. Now I get 80 plus 10, because this one is $2 per mile, which is going to be $80 total, plus $10 for the original fee, so I get 90 equals 90.
Yay.
That's a decent cost.
So I can drive, okay, no, I'm not gonna say that yet. Are we good, Irene?
What happens if one of them doesn't like equal the other?
Then I did not find my correct intersection point. It should always equal in both. Number 4, how many miles is the cost the same? For each company, how many miles do I need to drive for their cost to be the exact same thing? Lily? 40 miles. So if I have 40/90, that's 40 miles, $90, and it works for both of them. So they're both gonna have a cost of 90 when I drive 40 miles. Any questions?
Would that also intersect at 80?
They don't.
If it's a one solution, it only passes through one.
If there's one solution, there's only one solution. Your graph might look a little close, but it's only the one answer.
Yeah, you can never.
And
remember
actually, if I used
unless it's at-
$80, what would this be?
30.
30 miles. If I used 80 here, this would be 70, which is 2 times 35. So that'd be 35 and that would be 30, not the same thing. I know that didn't work out very well because I didn't write it down, but. Okay, I want you to do this problem on the back of that sheet.
So you have to make a coordinate plane?
Yes. I'm gonna make this larger so you can flip the page over and be able to read it up here.
Can you use graph paper?
Sounds sweet.
You could use graph paper.
Oh.
Let me show you. I can't really see. Because like the whole gas is too low.
Let me see if I can make it. Get rid of that. I can make it a little bigger. No, I can't.
I was smart.
Oh, they give us an equation.
Yeah. No, they only give us one of them now.
No, they give us 2 of them.
Oh yeah, they give us both the equations, but we have to solve them.
On the back, can you write down these equations? Because I'm gonna cut them off in just a second.
Oh,
Write down these equations on the back.
It only says it on here.
But can I use this?
It says it on there too, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, and the setting, you know.
That's fine. You can use graph paper, that's fine. X plus y equals 10. 5x plus 10y equals 85. And for the first part, you don't need the word problems at all. You don't have to have any meaning to the equations. You just need to work on figuring out how to graph them. You might want to write that as a half, because it'll just look easier.
Michigan, did I do this right?
Yes.
Did?
Yep.
That's odd.
So it's graph this.
Mm-hmm. But you have to turn both of them into white and then that's blue. So you have to do some work for both of them.
So,
Go ahead and check your equations to make sure you solved them correctly. Here's the first equation solved for y. Here's the second equation solved for y. So check yours. If you need to fix them, do so.
What if instead of 8.5 I had 8.5?
Oh, that's fine. Yep.
So if it's a negative, like, yeah, it's a negative, but you have to end up making it positive because otherwise it'll like go off. Whenever you make it positive, you don't need to left.
Always left, yes.
But if you keep it negative, you just go right.
Correct. Yeah, if you use the sign as is, you go right. If you have to flip it, you go left. What are you doing, girl?
I'm mildly confused.
Are you?
Yes.
I see a number of you with blank graphs.
Well, I'm confused.
If I write over here, Drove, can they see me?
Now they can. Nope, Siri's head.
That one is, I'll use black now.
You want me to like raise this or just generally keep it still or? Oh, true.
Hold on, we're gonna move you a second.
Whoa, look, it's all the class.
Hi, Mom.
Do we need the books still?
Probably.
Siri, can you grab the books?
We are figuring this out.
Sorry, one moment.
We are.
Please be patient.
Holding screen. And waiting music.
Yeah. Like Home Depot.
High fives.
Are we good now?
I think so.
Okay,
Let's hope that
perfect.
this doesn't fall.
Yeah. Oh, fancy. Okay, so on here, I need to graph each of these equations. This equation has a y-intercept of 10. This has a y-intercept of 8.5. So I need to count to at least 10 on my y-axis. I can count by ones though, right? To get to 10? I'm only gonna write every other. That's acceptable. I have dashes for every one, but I only wrote every other. And I'm gonna do the same exact thing on the x-axis.
Yes, I did it.
Are we ready? Almost. I'm confused as to why you couldn't start your graphs though. What were you stuck on?
I was
still trying to figure out what I was trying to figure out what to label them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not labeling them anything yet. We will work on that, but let's just get the equations graphed. That's all we're doing right now.
Well, I messed up.
So the first equation has a y-intercept of 10 and a slope of -1. So I'm going to go to 10 and then go down 1 over 1. So we got a slope of -1. Those of you using graph paper, your graphs should look the best. The rest of us are estimating.
Yeah. Very much estimated. Absolutely cool.
How many dots do you want us to do? Wait, how far?
I'm going all the way.
Why are we doing that?
Oh, man.
Why did you do that?
I just kept going down and over, down and over, down and over.
Should
So you want to keep counting, because what if your intersection point is down here somewhere? So if you're not accurate with your graph, you might mix up where your solution is.
Wait,
I just kept going down and over, down and over.
We're just putting the dots on there, so it's.
So then go to 1, down 1, over 1 would be like right here.
With the line, I
Down
see the
another
line.
1, now you're gonna be above 2.
But why do we have to write those dots?
Cause I'm trying to graph the line.
Oh.
I'm graphing this line right here.
My thing goes all the way to 40. My thing was really annoying setting it wrong. Well, I didn't do it
Why did
wrong.
negative x go down?
It's like all the way to the 10.
Oh no, I just
Of course.
was graphing the full line. So usually you go down and over 1 until you get a few dots, and then you just draw your line. I just kept counting.
Oh.
I just kept making dots all the way down, that's all.
But you only had to do.
Yeah, you don't have to do as many.
It's a
Yeah.
triangle.
Yeah, it is, a little triangle.
I think I'm not gonna do that because I'm confused.
Okay, okay. Just use your ruler then.
Luciana, since you're doing like a skip a number, if you were gonna start a student at 8.5, could you do from 8 to the line that's not labeled?
Yes. No, you don't go to the line that's labeled, because that's 9.
I know.
So you go here. So the second equation has a y-intercept of 8.5. So here's 8, here's 9, go right in the middle of it.
So I couldn't do a half between 10 and 8, right?
No. You have to go halfway between 8 and 9. And my slope is -1/2. So you have to go down 1, right 2. So down 1 would get me to 7.5 over 2.
Positive. I kept doing positive.
Down 1 would get me to 6.5 over 2. Whoops.
It ends somewhere along the lines of 16-ish.
It was something like that.
So I didn't do it that bad.
You didn't? Oh, good.
Good job, Rachel.
I'm gonna have to ask people that have graph paper to give us a better answer, because you're probably gonna have
Of answer what? I just
their intersection points.
Oh,
You gotta draw your lines further though.
Oh yeah, cause I gotta
It's
find
So
seven.
you define where the intersection
Mine
is.
is
There's your lines.
3-7. It has 3-7.
Mine doesn't intersect.
Mine intersects at 3-7.
You better.
Mine
Mine
is
is
3-7.
4,
Mine is
7.5.
The lines show. The lines show.
Mine is 4, 7.5. That's what mine is, but I don't think
Mine
that's
doesn't.
right.
Mine is 7.
4,
I'm
7?
still working. Mine's at 3-7.
Oh, yeah, mine's at 4-7.
I think it should be 4, 7.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 down.
Zach, you had graph paper, right? You have 4, 7 as their intersection? Who else has graph paper? Did
Christian.
you all get 4, 7?
I'm still working.
You're still working.
I'm confused.
4, 7?
Mine for some reason at 3-7.
That's true.
So this one.
3?
this
Oh,
one
my-
is your
my
first
dot-
line,
my
and then second line, 8.5. Down 1 over 2. So
I got
this is
3-7
your
on mine.
third
Yeah, these ones aren't, not on a graph though, it can get wonky.
Oh, well, now we have 4-6. I got it.
Oh yeah, mine intersects at 3-7. No, 3.5, 7, but I'm not.
Mine intersects at 3-7.
Yeah, mine's kind of.
Oh, it does look like 3, 7.
Oh, my graph was right.
It does look like 3, 7.
Good job,
Mine
Gary.
intersects exactly
Really?
4-6.
Are you counting right, Caitlin?
Yeah.
I speak Spanish.
I'm a champion.
I'm Trevor the G.
That's 1, you
Trevor,
goofball.
did you hear
That's
what I
only
was
1
saying
block
the whole
over.
way?
What?
So it is
Did you hear
3,
what I was
7.
saying?
You have 3, 7 also.
I was like, we should vote Trevor for you.
Okay, so the intersection point, based on those that have nice graph paper and nice lines, is 3, 7. So if you graphed it on your regular paper and it's a little bit off, that's okay. Put that the solution is at 3, 7. The intersection point is at 3, 7.
Guess what? Mine was at 3.5, 7.
Oh,
So
there,
it's not
that's
that
good.
bad.
That's pretty close then, yeah. Mine was off. Mine was not accurate, but that's okay. 3, 7.
What does yours say?
4,
5, 6. Oh, 4, 6.
I don't know. Okay, so now we gotta figure out what this means. Cause the question up here is, how many nickels and how many dimes does Manny have? So I need to put this into nickels and dimes. So is it 3 nickels and 7 dimes? Or is it 3 dimes and 7 nickels? How are we gonna figure it out?
I labeled it.
How do I know what X is and what Y is? What does this mean and what does this mean? How do I get this figured out? Drove.
3s are nickels, if I'm not mistaken, and then 7.
You sound like you're guessing though.
3s.
Based on the equations they gave us, we should be able to tell which one is nickels and which ones are dimes. Caitlin?
Okay, since x equals nickels, it says in the paragraph, and 3 is on x.
Oh, it does say in the problem, doesn't it?
Oh.
I didn't even think about that.
That's
In the
convenient.
problem, it does say the number of nickels, comma, X.
And then
I was
so
looking
that
at
would
this
be 3.
equation, because this is 5X, which means 5 cents per nickel, 10 cents per dime. So the X is nickels,
So that'd be 3.
the Y is dimes. So how many nickels and dimes does he have? 3 nickels, 7 dimes.
Nicholas.
That's
Yes,
convenient.
7, 9, 3.
Would you expect to have whole number solutions
Not all.
for this question, I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yes, because this is how many nickels and dimes. You don't have 3.5 nickels. You can't. Okay? So you need whole number answers. So we have, well, I had another worksheet that we were gonna go through as notes, but considering it seems like y'all are having some trouble,
We
I think I'm gonna-
homework.
I'm gonna get you to your homework so that I can walk around and check and help and make sure each of you individually are doing fine. Okay? So take your books back out.
I'll give it this.
You're gonna answer that like right in the middle of everything? I don't know if I'm, can you see me?
No.
I just moved.
No, you should
No,
do
your head is
squat now.
down.
You should do a squat. Go.
Transition.
Perfect, Miss Shogun. Perfect.
Oh, I wasn't really squatting.
Wait,
She was just dropping.
Yeah.
Check.
She went on volleyball.
Okay.
Move it back just a little.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can hear me. That's the important thing. Okay, your homework is on page 267 in your book. So open to page 267.
This is the second page that we're. So do we just put this in our notes?
Yes. Yes, that can go in your notes. You can staple it into your book if you want to.
No, that sounds like a good idea.
267.
Oh. This page.
And really, your homework is going to be 7 through 15.
Oh, that's
But
not bad.
7 and 8 may be done already. So it's going to be 7 through 15 that I collect on Monday.
So like the rest of the page.
Yes.
So what did this do?
Front and
7
back.
through 15. Okay?
And what did you have here?
7 through 15 on Monday. 7 through 15. Okay. All right. So, get to work on your homework. For you all, happy Friday and have a good weekend.
Bye. Bye.